The son of a famous old champion, and now Wally Swift Jr. can win a British championship just like his father. Good evening from the Central Hall in Birmingham. Boxing history in the making tonight as Solihull's Wally Swift goes for his first British title against Manchester's Ensley Bingham for the vacant light middleweight championship. 30 years ago, his father, Wally Sr., was first of all British welterweight champion and then became the middleweight title holder. Well, now Swift Sr. is both trainer and manager to his son, who faces the considerable challenge of Ensley Bingham. Well, Swift and Bingham did meet 18 months ago in what was described as the burn-up of the year, a punishing confrontation which Bingham narrowly won. It couldn't have been closer. Swift lost by half a point, but when it comes to adding up, the boxer from Solihull is no loser.
With professional boxing such a short career, it's ironic that Wally Swift Jr. spends his days arranging other people's pensions. His evenings are normally spent in the garage of his home, energetically preparing for fights, with the man who's his father, trainer and manager, Wally Sr. Wally Jr. quit university in Manchester to concentrate on boxing, a decision the family hope will reap its reward tonight.
I always maintain that when two people are boxing and they're equal on physique, fitness, technique and everything else, the one with the brains will eventually succeed the better. I mean, you have to, I won't say psycho, but you have to think people out, you know.
I've been training, fighting for as good as 12 years, and it's what I've always looked to achieve. It'd all be worthwhile if that happened. I'd die happy if I could become a British champion.
Wally Sr. was a British champion at two weights in the 60s. This was his middleweight victory over Mick Leahy in Nottingham in 1964. Tonight, his son is desperate to add to the family roll of honour.
So a big night for father and son, Wally Swift Jr. aiming for the most important victory of his career and so emulate his father. But first he has to get past Ensley Bingham, who has the psychological advantage of that win over Swift back in 1989. But that win was in Bingham's backyard. So is the British Light Middleweight Championship then vacated since Gary Stretch was stripped of the title. Wally Swift against Ensley Bingham, scheduled for 12 rounds and sponsored by Telstar Video Entertainment. On our way to join our regular fight night team of Reg Gutteridge and Jim Watt, let's first of all hear from our Master of Ceremonies, Vince Miller.
Gentlemen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing at 3 minutes each round for the vacant light middleweight championship of Great Britain. Presenting in the blue corner from Manchester, Ensley Bingham. And in the red corner from Solihull, Birmingham, Wally Swift. At the official weigh-in, Bingham scale 10 stone, 10.5 pounds. Swift 10 stone, 13.5 pounds. Your officials appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control are as follows. Your steward in charge, Charles Giles. Your doctors, Target and Bograti. Your timekeeper from Sutton Coldfield, Brian Heath. And your referee for this contest from Stewarton, Scotland, Billy Rafferty. This is the main event of the evening.
So they probably won't look at each other here. They know each other quite well, having fought such a great contest before. I mean, if it lives up to that one, we'll be well pleased. But with a championship at stake, it could be even better. So now, can the old champ's son do it?
For the first round.
Or will it be Bingham again? Championship fight, of course, is 12 rounds. And the vacant championship is vacated. The Board of Control stripped Gary Stretch of the championship for not defending it when ordered. And Stretch has now gone up to middleweight and he's going to fight Chris Eubank. Both remember the first crack at a British championship. And the Lonsdale belt, one of the most prized things in any kind of sport, I would have thought. It's a beautiful trophy. It was on show in the ring when they gloved up. So, always a bit pleasing, Jim. I remember watching young Swift in the National Association of Boys Clubs. I think it was in Newcastle. and I picked him as the best boxer and gave him his prize when he was about 15 at the time, and now he's in for a British Championship.
Yeah, well, I've always been an admirer of young Wally Swift. I think he's got everything, Reg, good punch variety, good stamina, strength, everything. I've always felt if he had a bit more punching power, he could have gone all the way. I think he just doesn't punch solidly enough for a late middleweight. Therefore, some of his fights are really hard, that don't really have to be hard. And this really is a tough match for him tonight. He's already had a hard match with Bingham, and this will almost certainly be the same kind of fight again. But Swift can do a little bit of everything, a very accomplished boxer. And there you go, these counters are bang on, well delivered, perfect shots. But they just don't have that little bit of dynamite that now and again comes in handy.
Well, I haven't got to look around a sort of reconnaissance job after having such a tough fight before. As we're into the last minute of the opening round. Field, of course, from Solihull these days, Wally Swift, that the family originally from Nottingham. And Bingham won an official eliminator, actually, when he thought he was going to fight Gary Stretch, and that was against Andy Till in London, and Till was disqualified for using the elbow.
Well, Bingham had tried to force the pace at the start of the round, but it's Swift who settled that little bit quicker. I think Bingham tried to knock him out of his stride, but he's done the opposite. I think he's knocked him into his stride. He's brought some good work out of Swift in the first round.
Glad to get the opening round out of their system, I would think. And there's Dad then, of course. Heart must be pounding a bit. It's a bit unusual, remember, to have father and son as champions. We've had Jack and Brian London and Spider Kelly and his son too. They won championships. John Kelly. Jim, in replay then.
Yeah, well, as I say, Bingham tried to start quickly, but Swift was very ready for him. Good little counters from Swift in the first round then.
Ten seconds.
Leaves it to the last second, Phil
Seconds
Martin,
out.
to give the final instructions.
Round
So we come out
two.
for the second round. And a good lively opener. Oh, what a bang-up. They've had a good look at each other in the opening round, and now they're really getting down to business.
Well, Reg, that was first two shakers in the very first couple of seconds. Bingham landed a good right hand, which slightly shook Swift. Swift come back with a solid left hook. So they've both landed good shots, have been shaken right at the start of the second round. A little bit reckless there from Bingham. He came really rushing off the stool. These are solid shots Swift's taken, Reg. You can't take too many of those. Bingham really has landed some solid stuff here. That last left hand was a kind of sickening shot. It really stopped Swift in his tracks. That's the kind of punch it takes a few minutes to recover from.
And yes, Swift, of course, is the experienced one of the two, by far. Although Bingham has, in fact, fought 3 champions. Clint McKenzie, Costas Petru, Gary Cooper. The referee, Billy Rafferty, Scottish bantamweight in his day, standing just well apart there. While he could see there was no holding going on at close quarters. There's some good inside fighting. Oh, a real tattoo stuff there from Wally Swift. What an exciting start, Jim, isn't it?
Well, Swift has done well to turn this around, because he was, as I say, pretty shaken in the early part of the round. But as I say, a little bit of everything, and courage is one of the things he has plenty of.
Well, talking of experience there, 220 rounds, it's now 222 for Swift, against 58, now it's 60 for Bingham. As I say, it seems only yesterday he was boxing in the boys' clubs, and he's had all that experience as a pro. First championship fight for the new pro sport promotions, this one. Well, got the makings of a cracker. Even now, Jim, it is.
Yeah, this one really has started well.
Did well there, the referee. He wasn't going to throw a punch, Bingham, I don't think, and the referee made sure he didn't. He always feels the fight's half won by having his father in the corner, a man who's won championships at 2 weights, Wally Swift. And in replay, Jim.
Yeah, well, Swift was shaken by a good solid left. See, that was right at the start of the round, and I think he come back with a left hook. There it goes. Both landed bang on, right in the first 5 or 6 seconds of the round. They've both shaken each other and really gone back again at each other. That was a cracking round, the second round.
And again here, I mean, even in slow motion at times, their punches seem fast enough.
Seconds out. Round 3.
Out for the third round of this vacant British light middleweight championship. That's 11 stone. Swift came in at 10.5, and Bingham at 10.13.5. Only a half point between them, remember, in their first fight in the title eliminator. Hasn't been on the deck either as a pro now, Wally Swift. That takes some doing, that does, or stopped, of course. But as Jim Watt was saying early on, that if it just that little extra punching power, he really would have been the business. I'm sure Dad Swift will give you an argument on that one, Jim, but he's only actually stopped 6 of 22 opponents.
And as I say, sometimes fights that are a little bit harder than they have to be when you can't really nail opponents with good shots to discourage them. And Wally has had some real cracking battles, always exciting to watch. A good value for money fighter.
Strange enough, he didn't want to get under the name Swift to start with in case it was handicapping him, and he came under his mother's maiden name of Wally Reynolds, but of course everybody knew who he was, so he switched it back to Swift again.
Well, it's still Bingham trying to force the pace. Good shots inside from Bingham then. Bingham certainly looks the stronger of the two, the stronger punch.
Thing with Swift, he comes bouncing back. That certainly reminds me of Dad, exactly the way he did it.
See some blood on Bingham's left eye edge.
It's Bingham's left eye, yeah, you're right, Jim. That's a pity.
And a fair bit of blood, Reg. It doesn't look at a bad or a long cut, but there's a fair bit of blood coming from it. That's terrible news for the young Ensley Bingham.
They were charging in at one another there. It's obviously been an accidental clash of heads there. And he wants to have another look at it, Billy Rafferty. He's going to ask manager Martin to wipe the cut down so that he can examine it closely. and it's okay. Well, it's never exactly okay, but it's not dangerous enough for the referee to stop it. But by the way he's throwing himself at Swift, Jim, I would think Bingham is a bit concerned. And there's the bell. So this is where the trainer in second here, Phil Martin, has to get on with his work, get the coagulates stuck into there. The adrenaline 1 in 1,000 ordered by the Boxing Board of Control is all they can use, and a lot of thumb pressure. It's known as a nasty little nick, Jim, right?
Yeah. It's not a bad cut yet. Thankfully, there's no swelling around the cut to push it open. But in the third round of a championship fight, Reg, certainly disastrous news for Bingham. See, Bingham really responded well when he knew about the cut. He really started firing in some good, powerful shots to try and get Swift out. There were two lovely uppercuts there.
Round 4. So, but hey, good contest. Let's just hope that the eye doesn't work. So not with a great contest like this. It's more than measuring up to the first one, Jim.
Yeah, well, this one obviously means much more to both of them, the championship being at stake. And it really has all the markings of a championship contest. See, but there's a big difference when Bingham lands his best shots. It really shakes Swift up. Swift has landed some beautiful left hooks, but not really any significant effect on Bingham.
Both look really superbly fit. I mean, they fought a tough 10-rounder before. Wally Swift has had 3 10-rounders altogether. Looks like Swift might be cut around the mouth, Jim, is he?
Yeah, I see some blood just below his mouth. Oh, that's a beautiful shot, Rich.
Oh, my... What do you know about that? No, he's got a count, and he's got him standing count. He can't do that, really. He should turn him around while he's hanging on the rope, Jim. And he's counted him out. In the 4th round, he's got his back to him, Bingham. I don't know why he did that. He's obviously hurt, I know that. But it's most unusual facing out. Have you ever seen him counted out like that, Jim?
I don't think he should have been counted out, Reg. I don't think we have a standing count in British boxing. But the referee was in no position to continue. The referee couldn't allow it to continue. There was obviously a bit of confusion in the referee's mind, but thankfully he didn't allow Bingham to be caught again. But the power we've been talking about from Wally Swift, that was the perfect punch. And when a fighter in good shape lands the perfect punch, that's the result. It was a beauty. Stopped him in his tracks, didn't put him over, but certainly knocked all the fight out of him.
Well, he was facing the wrong way, and that was obviously why the referee decided to continue counting. And young Swift is obviously saying, well, what was that all about, Ensley? I didn't want it to end like that, but it was a good shot, and you can't deny that. Well, but I still am confused about the standing count. I thought he would turn him around, Jim.
Well, it wasn't actually. See, that's it, bang on. Look at that. Yeah. See, he actually went down, got up again. He made his way to the corner. The referee didn't actually count. It was the timekeeper we heard counting, I think, Reg. But obviously no condition to continue, so the referee didn't allow it to continue. But here comes the shot again. Look, bang on, watch Bingley's legs as this one lands. Bang, all the weight behind the punch. Didn't quite go over, but didn't know where he was.
I think you'll find his counting here, Jim. Now, see, I thought he was going to stop it there.
This is where I'd like to see if he's going to count.
Then he carries on counting. See, when he gets back to the corner, he looks down at the timekeeper and picks up the count.
He has counted, Reg, yeah.
In 1 minute, 36 seconds of round 4, on a count out, the winner and the new light middleweight champion of Great Britain, Wally Swift.
And it is an official count out.
And here to present the Lonsdale belt, your Chief Steward in charge, Mr. Charles Giles.
So there it is now with the steward of the Boxing Board of Control. Proud moment indeed for Swift. He's been saying all I've ever wanted in my life is the British Championship, just to emulate Dad.
Wally, congratulations, you've emulated your father there by becoming British champion. Let's first of all talk about the finish. Were you surprised that he got counted out on his feet?
I was a bit. He was very shaky on his legs, I think, but he didn't turn around and acknowledge the ref. I think if he'd have done that, the ref might let him carry on.
Actually, the referees told me while the belt was being presented that in fact he wasn't in a position to defend himself. That's why the referee actually
perhaps
finished it.
if he'd have turned around, then the ref might have changed his mind. I don't know, but I think he was a bit shaky on his legs, and hopefully I'd have finished him off.
I think you would have done, because it was a terrific punch. Now, you're not known as a heavy puncher. You don't usually stop them, but what a punch that was.
Well, I can't remember anything about it. I must have caught him flush on the chin as he was coming forward, and I think if you do that, then you've got a chance of stopping him. It's as simple as that.
Well, here's your chance to see it again.
Yeah, he's fighting with the chap. I'll probably lay back. Whoa. Yeah, it's all. To be honest, it's about the only right hand I can throw. I lay back and, oh yeah, he's well shaky on his legs by the looks of things, isn't he? Well shaky on his legs.
What's he going to the corner for?
Well, to hold him up, I think. Yeah, I say he's coming forward with the left hand, lay back and bomb over with the right.
It had the makings of a great British fight, that. What about inside your mouth? Have you done a lot of damage there, do you think?
I always have a bit of trouble. I think I've just a bit thin-skinned around there. I don't know, you know.
Well, what about emulating your father then?
Well, smashing. It's all I've ever wanted, win a British title, and that's it. I'm happy now. Simple as that.
Are you going to be as good as him? He was pretty good, your old man, you know?
Better than me. He's better than me.
I doubt it. I don't know. We'll have to see what goes off. We'll have to see what goes off.
Is he a good manager? What's it like having your father in the corner then?
He's the best. I think any one of the lads in my dad's stable would say he's the best. He's about the only one who's actually gone through it and done it himself, and I think it counts for so much. You know, it's the voice of experience.
I tell you, it's an amazing thing. You gave up studying mathematics at Manchester University to win this. A lot of people would say you're crazy.
I couldn't care less now. Couldn't care less.
It was the right decision.
Wise decision.
Yeah, definitely.
Ensley, very disappointing for you. You did look out on your feet there. The referee said he stopped it because you couldn't defend yourself.
All credit due to Wally. He boxed well, you know. When I got the cut in the second round, I think it was, my fight plan had to change and I had to sort of take it to him a bit more, you know, more than I wanted to. So, and I got caught with a terrific right hand. You know, all credit to Wally. He did well.
You went over in the corner, presumably, to try and regain your senses. Did you hang on to the ropes?
Yeah, that's right. I went to try to gather myself, and as I turned around, the referee had already called it off. So, it's one of those things.
You're not going to argue with that, though, are you?
I think he could have given me a chance, really. Could have given me a chance to sort of get back into it. But referee's decision stands, so I have to accept it.
John, it's always difficult for referees, but there may be some criticism of Billy Rafferty there for being a bit slow in sorting that one out.
Not really. It was a marvellous right-hand punch. The boy half went down, and then he got up, looked as if he was going to motivate himself, but of course he really couldn't. He'd gone, as they say in the game, and he began to move forward. I think Billy thought he was going to go down again, so he got ready to count, but finally realised that he simply wasn't in a position to defend himself, and quite rightly stopped it.
Well, if we have a look at it now, John, and show it to you, the thing that's puzzling us and puzzling everybody at home is the standing count. I mean, first of all, let's look at the punch. It was a great punch to win a championship, wasn't it?
Oh, marvellous contest. I mean, both these boys really wanted it.
Now, he's obviously in trouble there, but as he staggers over to the corner, why is, if Billy thinks he's gone, why is he not stopping the fight there? Why do you think he's giving him a standing count?
To be honest, I don't know. I think he'd half anticipated that he was going down, and of course, as soon as he realised that he wasn't and that he was defenceless, he then called it off.
It was the right decision.
Oh, it was quite the right decision. That contest shouldn't go on. I've got a feeling we might see a return sometime. I think I want to be there.